So here's a nice pair of Sanyo components on the workbench. This is a C55 preamp and a P55 power amp. Both of these were sent in from a buddy of mine, and he wants both of them gone over. I'm going to be fully recapping the power amp and rebuilding the power supply and changing out all the signal caps in the preamp. I had a pretty big Mauser order, and this set right here was only about a quarter of it. So I got all the caps straightened out. And I also bought a new power switch for the power amp. The power switch in the P55 is actually known to kill itself after a while, and the one in this one was actually arcing. So I'm going to be changing that one out. Other than that, I'm going to be giving these a pretty thorough cleaning, as they're both pretty nasty. Also on the back of the power amp, it uses these spring clips, just like the HK770. So these are actually broken. So I'm going to be actually swapping these out with ones that I pulled out of HK770. And should be good as new. So I will keep you guys updated on the restoration and show you the steps as I go. So here's the C55 preamp. I'm just about to finish this one up. I'm just measuring the DC offset for the tone control amplifier. I actually recapped the entire preamp, so all the signal path caps and the caps in the power supplies, those have all been changed. So right now, all that's left is to polish up the faceplate and give it one last once over, and should be good to go. Here are all the old caps that I changed out. So the next thing that I'm going to be working on is the P55 power amp. This thing is going to get a full restoration. All the caps are going to be changed out, reflow the solder joints, fix things like this. This connector right here goes up to the speaker selector board. It's actually completely broken off. As you can see, all the joints on the back are pretty bad, so I have to redo all those. I just actually changed the power switch out, which was arcing, so that's a new switch. And the last thing to do is change out the speaker clips on the back that you guys already saw. So I'm going to be changing these out for new ones. So as I get this thing torn apart, I'll take more video and keep you guys updated as I go. So I'm just about to start the recap of this amplifier, and I've already come into a few pretty big issues here. This is the power supply and driver board for the right channel, and you can just see the driver transistors on the bottom here are basically hanging on by a thread. This is just horrible solder quality. Mixed with time and heat that does this, it just destroys them. So these all have to be redone. So this is just a before shot, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. So I'm just about to finish up the restoration of this P55 power amp. I have everything done basically, except for offset and bias. So I recapped all the boards, reflowed everything. It has a new power switch, and it has new speaker jacks on the back. So right now I'm trying to adjust the bias, and I'm noticing that on this half of the emitter resistor, I'm getting 0 millivolts. So if I push down on this connector right here, you'll see that the voltage will rise. So there's obviously a bad connection in there somewhere that needs to be addressed. All the outputs have been remounted onto silicone thermal pads, and I completely reworked both boards that they mount to, and that seems to have fixed the issue. So I just have to move on with bias and offset, and this amp should be done. So the last step is to calibrate the front VU meters, which I just did, going off the book. So I have my dummy loads hooked up and frequency generator hooked up. So as I raise the input, you'll see that they track equally. There you go, there's 28 volts into 8 ohms on each channel. By the book, you have the first LED lit up. Well, first red LED anyway. It's going good. All right, real quick, I have the left channel loaded down. I'm feeding a 1000 hertz sine wave into it, and this is the output. This is at full tilt, so this is about 100 watts per channel. So really, really good. And that's like that on both channels. And if I bring this down, let's do a square wave. I haven't tested this out yet, so we'll see. That's a 1000 hertz square wave. It's very good. Pretty cool. Another high bandwidth amplifier, high speed. There's 100 hertz. Crazy. Super, super, super good. So here's the last video in the series of the P55 and C55 restoration. I finished these about a week ago and have been testing them ever since, and they've been working great. So all that's left for me to do is pack them up and send them out to the new owner. He's been waiting for about 2 weeks now for me to get this done. Mauser's been having some shipping delays, so I've had to wait for those to get sent out. But it's been worth the wait. I'm sure he's gonna be very happy with these. So anyway, thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe and leave a comment. And don't forget to like the video.
Bye.